Welcome to Kuwait. Hi, my name is Djana. I'm marine activist and underwater painter. I organize cleanup events to raise awareness and educate younger generations. To raise awareness and attract attention, I started to paint underwater. Welcome to my journey. Good morning, my dear friends. Have you ever wondered what happens to the things we throw away? No? Me neither. Until I started to notice pollution at the beach or underwater. As a scuba diver, we know that from 100% of waste that comes to the ocean, 30% wash off the shore, but 70% sink and cause a great danger, carrying heavy metals, breaking down into microplastic, poisoning our corals and marine animals. As divers, we always try to clean as much as we can, but it's an impossible mission. In Mariana Trench, the deepest point of our ocean, we already have a lot of plastic. So why we should be considered about ocean pollution? It's simple. Ocean produce more than half of oxygen of our planet. In June 2022, United Nations called oceans as the lung of Earth, and that is why. Almost 50% of oxygen comes from phytoplankton that lives underwater on coral reefs, and 30% comes from large marine algae. Only 20% comes from the plants. It makes 80% of oxygen produced by oceans. To answer to this question where the waste goes, let's answer to the question where it comes from. The population in Kuwait grew for the last 15 years, from 3 million people to 5 million people. One person in Kuwait average makes from 1.5 kilos to 2 kilos of waste compared to world's 700 grams. If it's all necessary, how to reduce your waste and how to recycle your waste in Kuwait, I will show you at the end of this video, so keep watching. And for now, let's go with me to the nearest grocery shop and we will find out if all the waste is necessary. Today I would like to buy some fruits and vegetables. In Kuwait, farms cultivate fruits, vegetables with traditional greenhousing farming and water desalination to combat the extreme climate. Key products include tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, and leafy greens like lettuce and kale, along with specialty items like strawberries and bananas. Farmers also raise different kinds of animals, from chicken to camels. As you can see, they like to pack vegetables and fruits in foam boxes. Foam boxes are generally not good for recycling. Despite its widespread use, polystyrene is resistant to traditional recycling methods and can take more than 500 years to break down, contributing to long-term pollution and harm to wildlife. And now we arrive to the most exciting part, the packing. After Europe, where you cannot have so many plastic bags and shopping bags for free at checkout, you need to pay for it. Here the situation is fascinating. They even managed to pack each item in a separate plastic bag. To not find yourself in a similar situation, you can go and shop with your shopping bag. I already did an episode about shopping bags and I will leave the link
below in a description. So now let's go home and find out how much waste did we do after this small grocery shopping. So as you can see, with a small amount of items, I ended up with 17 plastic bags, 4 cartons and 7 foam boxes. In Kuwait, we don't separate the waste. Everything, plastic, bottles, cans, paper, goes in one bin in general waste, and after it will end up in the landfill. So I started to research more information about the landfills, and I came across this interesting document.
It calls Waste Management Atlas of Kuwait. You can find this document on Environmental Public Authority of Kuwait. It shows actually where our waste goes, on landfills. Here is the map of all the landfills in Kuwait. There are 19 landfills. They are different colors: green, gray, and dark gray. Green colors shows us the landfills in operation, means open. Gray closed and dark gray rehabilitated. As you can see, there are not many rehabilitated landfills. Mostly are gray, and they are in residential area, right inside of the residential area. What is the difference? Rehabilitated landfills are restored and do not cause hazard to environment. When closed, are still hazardous, but no longer receiving solid waste. After we have statistic about waste in Kuwait in general, and we have 11% that recycle, when you can recycle 95% of your waste. Here's the most interesting part. As we learned that closed landfills, they are still active. Here is the gas emission, and the gas emission is quite high, saying that carbon dioxide and methane still inside the landfills. It's particularly saying that those landfills are closed, so we remember they are gray colors and they are in a residential area. It's not only gas that is hazardous, also it wastes underground waters for many years till now. After we have a map of new landfills, as you can see on the map, they are more remoted, far from residential areas, to not make the same mistake. Not only landfills are the problems in Kuwait, there are also a tire graveyard. This is Kuwait City's Sulaybia graveyard, the world's largest tire graveyard. In the last 17 years, more than 40 million vehicle tires had been dumped here. This graveyard was so big so it could be seen from the space. It was only 7 kilometers from the residential area. Repeated fires in that graveyard became dangerous for environment. But recently in 2021, some of the tires had been moved close to Saudi border to a plant running by global recycling company IPSCO. Now they are recycled to floor tires and other recycled materials which imported overseas. IPSCO plant can recycle up to 3 million tires a year. Scrap tires are a major environmental problem. Its bulky composition makes it hard to dispose them properly. If burned, they release complex chemical into the air, causing partial pollution. Scrap tires are also an unexpected source for ocean microplastic. When you go online on the Environmental Public Authority website, you can find a lot of recycling companies. So I've decided to meet with one of the representatives, Mr. Ahmed Al-Nakib from Via Tuna Recycling Company. It's a big company with more than 200 employees, and they recycle a wide range of waste, from paper to plastic to digital waste. He told me some interesting stories. For example, that they are scavengers on the landfill. I would never imagine that. Normally, those people staying illegally in Kuwait and making their livings out of scrap they can find. Mostly they collect plastic and paper items, but it's apparently huge work. For example, for 1 ton of paper they can only get 20 KD, which is around $65, when for 1 ton of plastic they can earn up to 100 KD, which is $320. Also, Mr. Ahmed mentioned that the biggest mall in GCC countries, Avenues Mall in Kuwait, has its own recycling facility that recycle different kind of materials. For example, wood, they recycle cartons, also they recycle plastic, HDPE and PET, as well as cooking oil and metal, making it a leader in energy and environmental design award. You probably saw those bins separated to paper, metal, and plastic, and now you know that they recycle it themselves. But the most important thing I've learned that the majority of recycling companies work only with other companies, not with their retail customers. So, for example, if you want to recycle your waste, like used batteries, you have to pay fee. Normally it's something about 5 KD per drop off. Now tell me, would you pay if it's not required by law? Of course not. That's why we would like to raise a campaign about necessity of having a separate bins in residential areas. But to do so, our society should show a massive interest that will emerge authorities to start some actions. For this reason, we already started to attract attention by going to schools and talking to public. A few days ago, for example, we already visited New English School and met with some bright kids from Environmental Club. For now, I've collected some useful tools for you, how and what you can recycle in Kuwait. Please share this video with your friends because tips I'm about to share are very useful. First of all, to recycle used batteries, you should go to Scientific Center. They have e-waste bin from Ted Wire Recycling Company. For paper and carton, there are recycling bins in Rumatia next to Co-op. I've pinned it on the Google Maps for you, and also exact location I will share in description below. Maybe you saw this kind of recycling bin. It's unclear what do they recycle. I'll tell you. This is for fabric and for clothes. And last but not least, there is a wonderful company named Omnia. I think it's the most popular recycling company. It recycles plastic bottles. It has several recycling bins around Kuwait, and to find the nearest bin you can in their application. Omnia application is available both in Google Play and Apple Store. They recycle only plastic bottles and recycle it locally and internationally. Also, one useful tip for those who are using 5 gallons water bottles in Kuwait. You can order directly from the water company like Abrash Water. Abrash Water is the leading water bottler in Kuwait. They are delivering 5 gallons returnable bottles. Means that you don't have to throw your bottle after empty it. Instead, you exchange it to the full one. So what I can say to the conclusion of this video? Kuwait, being one of the richest country, is among the highest per capita waste generator in the world. While authorities are working on how to make recycling a part of general waste management, we can already start to be more conscious and sustainable. Remember, every day we make choices that affect our planet, and recycling is one of the most important choices we can make. If you like this video, please give me thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends. Until next time,